What a way to start week 16 of the NFL schedule, as good as it gets in the NFC, with the Rams visiting the Seattle Seahawks, fresh off a come-from-behind win against 60-year-old Phil Rivers and those Indianapolis Colts. But this one with a tight point spread, and we will break down what you need to know for this game, including what to bet. Ninja here with SI's Iain MacMillan, also the host of the Bacon Bets podcast, so make sure that is a part of your podcast rotation. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Don't miss anything from our preview content in the NFL and college football throughout a jam-packed December. iMac. The two best teams in the conference, maybe the two best teams in the NFL. Rams, Super Bowl favorites, as we sit here today. Seahawks second. And talk to me about the Seahawks team a little bit, because regardless of how good they have been, and they have been very good, can this team win a significant football game or even a playoff game with Sam Darnold as their quarterback?
It's a great question, because you're going to hear a lot of people these final few weeks as we head into the postseason not believe in the Seahawks because of Sam Darnold. This is not a fun answer, but I'm kind of right in the middle, where I'm not going to sit here and say they can't win a big game. They can't go on a deep playoff run with Sam Darnold, but also I'm not going to sit here and say they definitely will. You know, the Sam Darnold hate is overblown, because to be fair, in almost every single big game, especially, of course, everyone thinks the last season when he was with the Vikings, he has not shown up in big games. Even the first time when the Seahawks played against the Rams this season, he threw, 4 interceptions in that game? So he has to kind of show me before I can fully believe in him. But I don't not believe in him either, because when you look at the underlying metrics, he has been kind of a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. If you look at EPA, if you look at completion percentage over expected. So it's just a matter of if he can get over the mental block he seems to have in big games. And sometimes, a lot of the time, these athletes who have that do eventually get over it. Is that going to happen this year, or will it ever happen, is what we're going to find out. But so to answer your question, yes, I think they can win big games. I'm not ready to quite say that they will.
Well, let me put you on an even more hot seat. Over or under 1.5 playoff wins for this Seahawks team?
Over. I'll go over
Wow.
1.5 for sure. Well, think about it. If the Seahawks don't win the NFC West, who are they going to play in the first round? The NFC South winner, which is going to be the Buccaneers or the Panthers. So they would be significant favorites in that game. So, if they fall to the number 5 seed, then, maybe not. But or if the Seahawks end up getting the first seed and they don't play till the second week, I don't know if I'd take the over on that, because then they'd have a tough opponent coming to town. But right now, they're kind of lined up for what should be a pretty favorable first round game against the Bucs or the Panthers. So, if that does happen, hopefully that gives Sam Darnold some confidence in a very winnable game, and then they can, he can kind of work from that and see if they can go on a deep playoff run. But yeah, as of right now, I'll take the over 1.5 wins.
Let me ask you this. If you had to make a tier list of NFL starting quarterbacks, and you're right, because statistically, analytically, Sam Darnold ticking all the boxes, but we know what he's capable of in a big spot. We saw it last year with the Vikes. But if you were making a tier list of starting QBs in this league right now, what tier is Sam Darnold going in?
Oh, that's a really good question, because it brings up the debate that's becoming, the most common debate now is like, do you just look at the numbers? Are you a spreadsheet guy? Are you a nerd guy? Or are you a guy who, uses his eyes and you pass the eye test? He's certainly not top tier. He's not, a Josh Allen, Drake May, Lamar Jackson tier. Is he second tier? The analytics would say that he is. The metrics would say that he is. But his lack of really good performances in big games, I think he's like the best of the third tier quarterbacks. If he has a big game this Thursday night, if he torches the Rams defense, he's in the second tier easily.
Yeah, and has a case to be even closer to that first tier, I think, because like you said, every underlying metric to this guy's season, the 4-pick game notwithstanding, has this guy right up there with the best of the best. And we can talk about that 4-pick game, but sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, the stat I look at the most to measure quarterbacks is EPA plus CPOE. So expected points added plus completion percentage over expected. It's overall quarterback efficiency. Top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL right now: Drake May, no one surprised. Jordan Love might surprise some people. Josh Allen, number 3. Sam Darnold, number 4. So by that metric, he's like a top 5 quarterback. But I think his lack of performances in big games does. I think, you do have to take that in consideration. You can't completely put that to the side.
Let us know in the comments down below where you think one Mr. Sam Darnold ranks, what tier you would put him in this season's quarterback crop. Is he with the Drake Mays and the Josh Allens, or is he more of a Phil Rivers guy? Let us know in the comments section. Another interesting race here, IMAC, is the NFL Coach of the Year betting market. Very interesting to me. So I think this game, not only the two best teams in the conference at the very least, but potentially two of the best coaches in the league. Obviously, we're all impressed with how well McVay and Mike Macdonald have done here handling these teams. McVay, the established brand name, he's not really a factor in this betting market. Mike Vrabel plus 120 tops the odds board for Coach of the Year. Mike Macdonald second at plus 450. Is this Thursday Night Football game showcasing the two best head coaches in the league?
It's a great question. I don't know if I've seen enough from Mike Macdonald. This has been a very good year. I think he's actually a great bet to win Coach of the Year, but I don't think he's done enough in enough seasons for me to say that he's a top echelon of coach, because I do think you got to give something. Andy Reid's won a ton of Super Bowls recently. It's kind of hard to say anyone other than Andy Reid. And you have Kyle Shanahan, who leads the 49ers to a lot of deep playoff runs, a couple Super Bowl appearances recently. And even this year, I don't think Kyle Shanahan's actually gotten enough credit for leading this 49ers team, who's probably the most injured team in the NFL, all the way to now they're like a shoe-in for the playoffs and might be a dark horse Super Bowl contender. So, but Sean McVay, yes. I would say Sean McVay is a top 3 coach right now. And Mike Macdonald, if he, keeps this going the next few years, then he certainly could belong in that conversation. But I think we need a few more years of evidence before I'm ready to make that leap.
So if you were going to enter the Coach of the Year betting market right now, who are you taking?
Probably Mike Macdonald. Because I think Mike Vrabel, I think for him to win, the Patriots have to get the number 1 seed, and that loss to the Bills hurt the Patriots' chances of being the number 1 seed a lot in the AFC, so he's still the favorite. But if Mike Macdonald wins tonight and the Seahawks have a chance at the number 1 seed in the NFC, then I think it goes to the Seahawks coach. So plus 450, plus 460, I think that's a pretty good bet on the Seahawks coach. They need a couple things to go their way, but I think that's a pretty good price point because, if the Patriots, and they're not favored to get the number 1 seed anymore, voters might look a different direction.
Let's look at the game here then. Davante Adams, going to miss some time here now after he picked up a bit of a hammy on Sunday. Terrible Sunday for injuries, by the way. Holy smokes. But talk to me a little bit about this then from maybe a prop betting perspective, like who steps up with Davante Adams out? Adams had a touchdown in that first meeting between these two teams. Is it just going to be like a steady diet of Puka, or do they lean on the tight ends a bit more than usual? Colby Parkinson always seems to come up big. What's your take here?
Yeah, I think you kind of settled it. I think my primary guess would be that they do kind of lean a little bit more on tight ends because they have played a lot of 13 personnel this season. That's been kind of their bread and butter. So maybe they're just going to use their tight ends even more 13 personnel, just have Puka out there by himself and then run 3 tight ends. I think if you do look at a wide receiver that could fill in Davante Adams' shoes a little bit, I think it's going to be Jordan Whittington. This is a guy who was a 6th round pick last year. Sean McVay has spoken very highly of him. I know I've been having him stowed away on my dynasty fantasy team because I thought maybe he was going to be the next Puka Nacua. And now he's got a chance. So, because I think from a formation perspective, I do think it's Whittington who's going to step into Davante Adams' shoes a little bit. And he's had, some targets, some receptions, some kind of flashes this season. So I think if I were to pick a receiver to target in the prop market, it'd probably be him. But maybe instead of doing that, you look at targeting one of their other tight ends, maybe Davis Allen, maybe Terrence Ferguson, one of their other tight ends, because I do think we'll probably see even more 13 personnel from them this week.
Has Blake Corum arrived, do you think? He's put together a really? Okay. Let me finish this thought. He's put together a really nice run of games here, IMAC. 280 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns in the last 3? No?
No. Let's relax a little bit on Blake Corum, I think. Yes, a few very good games. Yeah, 11.6 yards per carry against the Panthers, 10.7 against the Cardinals, 6.5 this past week. When he faced the Seahawks, he averaged 1.3. When he faced the Buccaneers after that, he averaged 3.4. So yeah, 3 very good games. Am I all of a sudden going to be buying Blake Corum stock? No, not yet. I need to see a little bit more than that, especially against a very good run defense. Because the Panthers, Cardinals, and Lions aren't exactly the best run defenses in the NFL as well. So He has to now take on the best run defense in the Seahawks. Not enough people are talking about how well the Seahawks have done in stopping the run this season. First in opponent rush EPA, third in opponent rush success rate, second in opponent yards per carry. He had just 10 yards on 8 carries against them last time these two teams played. So yeah, very impressive run for Blake Corum. I'm not buying Blake Corum stock though. If he has a big week this week, I'm all in. Not yet though.
What about the other backfield, the Seahawks backfield that has been underwhelming, at times, Iain, going up against, one of the most well-balanced teams in the entire league. Would you dabble in any Seahawks running back props here this week?
Yeah, potentially. But the issue with the Seahawks props, because I've kind of burnt myself doing this, is that you just don't know which one's going to get the bulk of carries, which one's going to have the bigger game. Do you just go with Zach Charbonnet because he has a lower rushing total, or do you go with Kenneth Walker? I mean, if they end up going with Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker might get more carries. So it's very hard to evaluate in the prop market these backfields that are more of a hot hand backfield, and that's kind of what the Seahawks have. So yes, I do think the Seahawks are going to have to run the ball effectively, and I think they will. But just trying to figure out which of the two guys is the guy to target is a tough task for anyone. So I generally just stay away.
We'll get your pick for this one, potentially the Thursday night of the year. I don't know, but we'll get your pick in a second. But folks, don't go through a busy sports betting December without Prop Professor. And for the holiday season, you can get Prop Professor for 50% off for the first month right now. You can get hundreds of plus EV bets every day. Prop Professor gives you a real shot at finding long-term profit. You can sort through plays across the NFL, across college football, the NBA, and plenty more leagues. It's got a great arbitrage tool. It's got a fantasy optimizer, and it's easily the best bang for buck on the market compared to its competition. So you can use the promo code SHARK50 at checkout to get 50% off for that first month. And for this one, Iain, what a game. Seahawks 1.5 point home underdogs. The total is 44.5. The under is minus 115. Rams money line minus 115. Seahawks money line minus 105. Tons of betting options, prop options in this one. Star players up and down the rosters here. I know what I like in this one, Mac. This one is Rams all day for me. What do you like here?
I could be convinced on either side. I kind of flip-flop back and forth. I am going to go with the Rams, though. At the end of the day, I need to see it from Sam Darnold in a big game before I fully trust him. Now, I like Sam Darnold. I'm not a Sam Darnold hater. I think he's a very good quarterback, but 4 interceptions against the Rams cost them the first outing between these two teams. And the Seahawks offense has regressed as a whole. They were like a top 5 team in EPA. They're down to 13th in EPA per play. They're down to 9th in offensive DVOA. That's not a good sign when you got to take on a Rams defense that is very, very good. I will say one thing that we should keep an eye on, though, and I wouldn't be shocked if this does play a role, and if the Seahawks win, I think it will, is special teams. Seahawks have been very good on special teams this season. Second in special teams DVOA. It has been a weakness for the Rams, 25th in special teams DVOA. With that being said, that's not enough to scare me away from the Rams. They're just a more complete team. They're a more experienced team. I trust Matt Stafford in a big game way more than I trust Sam Darnold. I trust Sean McVay in a big game way more than I trust Mike Macdonald. So I think it's fair odds, but I'll take the Rams in a bit of a coin flip spot. I'm also going to bet, though, what I was just talking about a little bit earlier with Blake Corum. I'm going to fade Blake Corum. So I know kind of counterintuitive a little bit, but I think the Rams are going to be able to attack the Seahawks through the air. I think they'll struggle to run the ball, and I think this is a huge sell high spot on Blake Corum. So Rams to win in a coin flip. I got it minus 110, and then take the under. Blake Corum's rushing yards around under 38.5.